Good afternoon, Facebook. Happy Monday. You got David Shahady here, CEO and founder of Real Estate Investment Finance with our very own Eliza. How are you, Eliza?
Hi everyone, I'm great. Thank you, David. How are you?
Really good, thank you. It's Valentine's Day.
It's the day of love.
How good. Guys, wherever you are across the country, don't forget to make today the day that you really show your love and appreciation for those important people in your life. Show us some love. We think we're important. We want to see the love hearts coming on today on our live.
Love you, Shaq.
Love you, mate. Give us some love. Say hello. But today is Valentine's Day, which is really an important day to be able to show those that you care about and love your appreciation for them. And, I was actually talking to Eliza this morning. I came in the office today and I'm like, it's Valentine's Day. I gave the whole team a hug.
Even the fellas.
Okay, I did. But, and that's just because I really appreciate our team here at RAIF. And I think that Valentine's Day is not only a day that you stop and appreciate your partner, but appreciate anyone and everyone in your life that means something to you. And really take that time out to be able to tell them why. What are the traits that you love about that person? What are you grateful for within them? Today is the day to share love. Give us your love, send us your love hearts, say hello. Hey Maddie, hey Ash, hey Meg. All right, guys, happy Valentine's. We're gonna talk today about some tips for couples as well. And I wanna throw a challenge out to everyone as well. So guys, I want you to go to 5 people today. And I want you to go and tell them that you love them and why you love them. 5 important people in your life. Could be family, friends, your significant other, but take the time today to tell 5 people you love them. Share the love. It is Valentine's Day, and make it a day of really showing appreciation. But let's get on with some tips.
Yeah, definitely. We'll give a little bit of context because we were doing some research as well into financial stability and love, how it all comes together.
Yeah, we were reading a survey this morning, and what it had said is that one of the most important traits that people are looking for in their significant other is financial stability. So it's so important that you're on the same page when it comes to finances when you are in a relationship. And some couples, they're married for years and they just avoid talking about money. They avoid talking about finances. And I think it's very, very important that you're both on the same page. The pandemic and COVID really, gave a lot of uncertainty out there, and it caused a lot of financial stress on a lot of households and a lot of people. And if you look at the statistics, and in Australia, over 50% of people now that get married end up in divorce. And that could be for a whole range of different reasons, but one of the major reasons is financial problems. And it's so important there to be able to communicate and be on the same page with your partner there around your finances. Because really, when you're in a partnership, you're a unit. And it becomes very much important that you're aligned in what your finances need to look like, because it's so important. It dictates your lifestyle, it dictates your choices, what you can and can't do. So guys, we're going to give some tips.
Yeah.
How do you improve your relationship when it comes to finances? And guys, say hello if you're online, send us some love hearts. It is Valentine's Day and we want to feel the love as well. All right, so some tips.
Yeah.
I think it's really important that you're creating a non-judgmental space for you and your partner that you can actually stop and talk about money together. So just a safe place there where you can actually put time aside to talk about what that means to you. And when it comes to that, it's really nutting down what your goals are together. What are your short-term goals? And when we say short-term goals, we're really looking at 6 to 12 months. Medium-term goals, where do we want to be in the next 1 to 5 years? And then long-term goals, what does that look like in the next 5 to 50 years? And it's getting really clear together on what that looks like. Is there children involved? What kind of school will they go to? What sort of household expenses will you have? Where do you want to be when it comes to the car you want to drive, the house you want to live in? And getting your money story right and together and on the same page is super important to have a healthy relationship. So you're both aligned when it comes to the things that you're doing to make sure you're working towards it. So it's really important. You've got that put in place. You've got a plan. Another tip, communication. How important is communication, Eliza?
It's honestly just like with any sort of topic you want to talk about in a relationship. Yeah, communication is huge.
It's huge. And a lot of people in this same survey, honesty was a really important trait that people were looking for in a partnership. And, to feel like you're getting honesty within the relationship, it's super important that you've got that ability and space that you've created together to be able to communicate and to be able to share those thoughts about what's important to you all as well. I think transparency is very, very important. If something's bothering you, talk it out. Don't bottle it up, because what happens when we bottle it up?
We explode.
It can come out in different ways.
Ego can come out.
Ego comes out, and then it just doesn't turn out really, really good. You don't end up being on the same page. Guys, some other finance tips we want to talk about is how do we get our money right together in a relationship. Little things you can implement within your household, is a 30-day rule. So if you're looking at making any big expenses, any big household expenditure, to avoid impulse buying, always wait 30 days to go ahead and make a decision to do it. Consult your partner, this is what I'm thinking about doing, and give yourself that 30-day space to be able to have those decisions. Guys, say hello if you're online. How are we going? Give us a wave, send us some love hearts. Always talking about money.
Got some tips there too.
Always talk about money before committing. Love that, Mel. It's so important that you're on the same page in so many different areas. And money, whether we like to think it or not, dictates what we, it's a very, very important part. It dictates how we live our life. And it's so important to make sure you're on the same page with it. And communication, love it, Maddie. It's so important in all areas of life, especially to have a solid relationship. It's interesting, Eliza, because, a lot of people may earn in their income a certain set salary. And when they come together with their partner, that's a 6-figure salary in most cases. So let's say partner one's earning, maybe $78,000 a year. Partner two is earning $70,000 a year. You've got $140,000 a year coming in as a partnership. And what are you doing with that $140,000 6-figure salary to be able to build a lifestyle that you want for the future? What does that look like? What are your goals? And that's super important. As a unit and a partnership, everything's amplified. You've got 2 sets of income, you've got 2 sets of brains, and it's amazing and super important that you're on the same page. All right, some more tips.
Paying down your debt, that's a big one.
Huge, isn't it? And a lot of people get confused about this as well. There's good debt and there's bad debt. But as a couple, you want to look, and as a household, you want to look at what money's coming out, what you owe, that's bad debt. Now, good debt. What's good debt, Eliza?
Home loans.
Home loans. Now, a home loan is a great debt because you've got your money in something that's appreciating in value. So you're borrowing money and it's making you more money. And that's what we call smart borrowing. So we want good debt. We want to get more of that. And a lot of people get confused. I think back in the day, the old school mentality was get rid of all your debt.
All debt was bad debt.
All debt was bad. But now, if you borrow $500,000, that's a debt. But if it makes you money and pays for the debt and puts money in your pocket, that's what we call good debt. So borrowing to give you a return is good. But when it comes to bad debt, now what's some examples of some bad debt?
Taking out unnecessary credit cards.
Credit cards, yep.
Buying luxury items that you probably don't need, like cars.
Yep, borrowing money to go on a holiday, car loans, boat loans. That's what we call borrowing money on assets that go down in value. They don't give you a cash flow return. Now, what we do is those assets end up being worth a lot less over time, but you owe a lot more on them. So that $20,000 car you purchased costs you with interest $27,000 after 5 years, let's say, but then it's only worth $10,000. So that's what we call bad debt. We want to eliminate that as quickly as we can. All right, so some more tips. What else?
Yep, use automated deposits.
Use automatic deposits. Now, what does that mean, guys? We're talking about the unit having a certain amount of cash coming in. You both got 2 salaries coming in. What can we do there to be smart about our money so that we're actually putting money aside? Why would we want to put money aside, Eliza?
Oh, yes, you can put it aside so you can put it towards, your long-term, short-term goals.
Perfect. So we want to be able to put it aside so we can plan for our short-term, medium, long-term goals, so we can invest, so we can save to have buffers in place there as well. So how do we do that? How do we automate our savings? We can do that purely by a little hack. You can go to your employer and say, look, out of my pay, which might be, let's say it's $1,000 a week after tax, do you mind just splitting it and putting $200 in one account and $800 in another? Now what you're doing there is your $200 is going in an account that you don't get to touch with your everyday spending. And that's what we call automating your savings. It's just churning away in the background. You don't even know it's there. And my recommendation is go to a different financial institution. Don't go to the bank you bank with. You don't want to jump on your app and see them both there and be tempted to, I'll just transfer some money back in and spend it. Put it away into account, pretend it doesn't exist, and learn to live on what's left.
Yeah.
And that's huge in terms of being able to make sure you're planning out your savings and meeting those goals. Because what most people do is they do it the wrong way around. They get paid, they live, the money goes out, and they go, okay, what can we save now?
Oh, there's nothing.
There's nothing left. And of course, there's nothing left if you operate that way. So we want to do it smarter. We want to automate it. Another last tip is...
plan your retirement.
Yay! Why do we want to plan our retirement? We want to plan our retirement. When we say retirement, we want to plan freedom. We want to plan a point in our life where we can say, hey, money is not a thing anymore. I know now I can sit back and I can live my life on my own terms and know I've got money automatically coming in. And that's what we call passive income. How do we set ourselves up to have passive income streams coming in so we don't have to get out of bed while we're sleeping? We know that money's hitting our account day in and day out. Guys, if you're online, say hello. We want to hear. We want to see you. Send us some love hearts. It's Valentine's Day after all. We're hungry for love today, aren't we, Eliza? We want to feel some love from our audience. All right. So what are we saying is we want to be able to understand what that retirement is. And when we say that, it's what do we need coming in every single year so that we can stop and live life on our own terms.
Yeah.
Now, once we know that, now let's say it's, I don't know, let's call it 100,000 a year.
Yeah.
Six-figure sum, yeah, it's a nice number. We want 100,000 a year coming in every single year without having to get out of bed. At that point, it's not like you're going to retire. When if you want to, you can. That's the cool thing about it. But you get to really, really make decisions around not having to be driven by money. I don't have to wake up and go to that job because I need the money. I wake up and go to the job because I love what I do. You then hit freedom to live life on your own terms. And it's super important. A lot of people don't think about this. It's knowing what that means to you. And that's why it's so important as a relationship and as a unit to think about your future goals. So you can come up with what that number is. Do I want to be traveling and whenever I feel like it and go wherever I want, whenever I want? What sort of income would I need to sustain that sort of lifestyle? And then once we know that, we put a plan in place to be able to work towards building ourselves up with assets that are going to produce us the passive income and the cash flow so that we can hit that goal. And guys, it doesn't happen overnight, but hey, time's ticking anyway. So you might as well be working towards it. And it could be a 10, 20-year goal.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And that's okay. In 10 years, a lot can be achieved. And I think a lot of people forget that, don't
That's
they?
it. And that's why we always stress the importance, especially to like the younger generation, start now.
Start now. I mean, I bought my first property at the age of 19 and you know, aggressively we're just investing for my future because I wanted to have the ability when I hit my 30s to be able to live life on my own terms. And guys, it's very, very, very possible to do that. I've done it. We're helping hundreds of clients all across the country right now achieve the same results and set themselves up. It just comes down to wanting to do it, doesn't it? And taking action. But
we've
guys,
got a lot of young investors as well at the moment.
We do.
Yeah, a lot of people in their early 20s setting themselves up for their future.
Yeah, and I think one of our clients is probably online and watching this now. He's a Sydney investor, and I'll give him a shout out. He worked at Bunnings. He's 18 years old. He bought his first investment property at 18 through us. He came back and bought his second investment property just 1 year later, and he's done so well. I'm so proud of him as well. So, you know, that's the reality. You know, you're never too young to start. He worked at Bunnings, he saved everything he could, he lived at home, and he's got his foot in the door on his second property just in the short 12 to 24 month period, which is amazing. And we've helped a lot of those, you know, I'm just 19, 20, get into my first property, leverage, get into your second, and really, if you're doing that over the next 10, 20 years, you know, and keep following the formula and the process, you're going to end up being exactly where you want to be. But guys, happy Valentine's again.